Welcome back. My name is Teresa and I'm very much alive for the time being. If you're new here, welcome. I have an awful, garbage, filthy mouth where sometimes, just sometimes, I tend to use the word fuck as a comma. I know it's disgusting and I should be stopped, but I'm not. So if you're not into that or weird stuff in general, this is not the place for you. Feel free to exit the video here. No harm, no foul. But I remember our time fondly. My little chipmunks, good morning. I am filming this at 6:30 in the morning because I have a very long day of work ahead of me and I want to be in a happy place before I have to deal with those people. So with that said, my nails are janky. It is what it is. This is quarantine living, y'all, okay? I'm not trying to impress anybody, all right? Not even you. So get that straight. Second of all, this video is about my blushes and bronzer slash contours that I feel like do a really good job on catfishing me to make me look like an acceptable human being. If you're into that, come watch me swatch some stuff and talk a little bit about my collection. If you're not into that, I'll catch you in the next video. No harm, no foul. With that said, let's just jump right into it. I'm gonna start with my palettes first. And these are more of like the face palettes that I have that have blush in it as well as bronzer and blah, 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 blah. So let's actually talk about these two first. These are from Hourglass. And I know I mentioned them in one of my previous videos talking about my highlighter collection, and I'll just link it up right over here. See, I'm touching it. Oh yeah, okay. Don't know why it was so sexy in the morning, but you know, sometimes you just need a little tickle. This is the Ambient Lighting Edit Ghost Unlocked. They re-released this palette because everybody, including myself, was shitting my pants about missing it. And they were like, hey guys, we're gonna re-release it, but we're gonna put it in this disgusting Glad Tupperware packaging. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. That's $80 I've ever spent. So in this palette, you get 2 finishing powders, you get a bronzer, 2 blushes, and 1 highlighter. This highlighter is fucking incredible, but I really do love these blushes. So for this part of the video, I'm gonna swatch the blushes as well as the bronzer. It's a little bit too warm for me. It's not the end of the world, but it's just something that I don't really reach for. Everything else I adore in this palette, but this, it's all right. I feel like Hourglass does a really good job with their powders. Very, very pretty. Now, this is the one that came out last Christmas, and this is the Ambient Lighting Edit Ghost Edition. And much like the first palette, there are 2 finishing powders. I believe this is supposed to be the highlighter, this is the bronzer, and you have your 2 blushes. This one is definitely more for like uncooked chicken, I would say. I really enjoy these powders. There's something about this palette, I don't know why, I think I just prefer more. Maybe it's the highlighter is the thing that really sells it to me. But I like the bronzer in this palette because it's a little bit less Cheeto-y. And I really love the blushes. I just think they're so pretty. They're just like a light pop of color. Sorry about that. I'm trying to figure out the settings this morning. To me, these were really good investments. They're $80 a piece and I utilize the fuck out of them. I really, really do enjoy them. So even though this isn't my favorite, this one is more my favorite, I'm still very happy to have it in my collection. And I look forward to next Christmas version of it. The next palette is from IBY Beauty, which not a lot of people talk about, but this palette has pretty much mostly highlighters, but they do have blush and a bronzer in here. The bronzer is not my favorite. I like the blush a lot. The bronzer, however, kind of has this more of like a night at Taco Bell kind of look on me. Not really a fan of that. I have a contour kit that I absolutely fucking adore, but this bronzer is just, you know, not the right color for me. But other than that, this is really, really good quality. It's a shame. You don't really hear a lot of people talking about IBY Beauty, but they are fantastic. So the next thing is from Benefit, and this is the Cheek Leaders Bronze Squad. And you know, the palette's not bad, it's okay. Honestly, the selling point in this whole thing is Cookie, and thank God Cookie is a single, so I never have to buy one of these fucking face palettes ever again. I used to enjoy their blush, but I find that I don't really reach for it that much. Anyway, so in this particular palette, you have Gold Rush, Coralista, Hula, and Hula Caramel. And of course, my beloved Cookie that I just want to touch so badly, but I'm not going to touch it. If you want to see me shit my pants, just go watch the highlighter video. See, it's like, I find Hula to be meh. Like, I don't know, there's like nothing special to me about Hula. I feel like as of late, when I use it on my face, I just find it to be patchy. It doesn't sit right. The color looks really weird on me. It's not my favorite formula at all. The highlighter though, I know I wasn't gonna swatch it, but I can't help it. Oh my God, I just wanna swatch it. This is the only selling point of the whole fucking thing. This is the whole reason for this palette. Other than that, this is all bullshit. Fuck this. So the next one is from Besame Cosmetics. This is the Briar Rose Blush Palette. The Sleeping Beauty collection was really, really adorable. There was an eyeshadow palette, which is okay. It's not the greatest thing in the world. You had this beautiful face palette. The highlighter in this palette is fantastic, but I love the blushes too. They're very, very pigmented, so a little bit does go a long way, but they're very, very beautiful color sets. though. I really love Basamé's quality. I find it to be a little bit more on the expensive side, and you know, I don't really like to purchase it at full price because it's so expensive. So when I see shit go on sale, I jump on it. I also love the packaging. As someone who's fucking obsessed with Disney, this is everything, bitch. Everything. Fucking love it. So I have 3 Natasha Denona face palettes. This is the Bloom Blush and Glow palette. And your blush is gonna be this guy up here. I think this is technically supposed to be like a duo glow. I believe this one's really more used as a highlighter, but I like to use this as a blush. And this is the cream blush, which this is a very severe swatch, but just wanted to show you how incredibly pigmented it is. What's nice about these is that you can definitely sheer them out to your desired opacity. I love Natasha Denona face products. Eyeshadows are kind of hit or miss for me, but definitely the face palettes are fucking great. Love this one. And this was actually gifted to me by the wonderful Dana, so thank you, Dana. I love your fucking face. The Natasha Denona Love palette. Again, I really think I'm the only person that fucking loves this palette, but it's fantastic though. So what I'm gonna swatch in this palette is the Glow Cream base as well as the Super Glow. I love this palette. I fucking hate this stupid fucking arts and crafts bullshit, but I love this palette so fucking much. I love mixing the shades together because it provides like really, really pretty and unique colors. But this is probably my favorite Natasha Denona blush. Something about this cream base, oh my god, I just love how it looks on my skin. Brings a warmth to my face. Fucking gorgeous. I love this palette. So the next one is the Diamond and Blush. I believe this is the Daria palette. I picked this up when it went on sale in Sephora and I regret nothing. This is my least favorite out of the face palettes, but I still really enjoy it. But for this one, I'm going to show you this cream blush up here as well as this powder blush. Like I mentioned, I really do like this palette, but there's just something about this one that fucking kills me that I enjoy so much more. But this actually isn't bad. I'm very happy that I picked this up when it was on sale. So the next thing is from MAC, and this is the Jeremy Scott collection, the Cheeky Volume 1 mixtape. And the only reason why I got this, like I mentioned in the highlighter video, I got it because it reminded me of my childhood. I grew up in the age where cassettes started to fade out, CDs were introduced, and the first CD I ever purchased was Beck Mellow Gold, and I regret nothing. In this little palette, you have a highlighter, blush, and bronzer, and honestly, I really, really do enjoy it. I think the highlighter is more of my favorite. This is not bad though. I found them to be incredibly pigmented and very good for uncooked chicken. The only reason why I kind of forget about this palette, unfortunately, is because the packaging is so oddly bulky, and I like to keep it in the original packaging, but honestly, I kind of wish that it flipped up a little bit, because this sometimes is a pain in the ass to like take off. Anyway, I still really do enjoy this, and now that I've rediscovered this, I have been using this a lot more lately, and I love it. It's probably one of my favorite MAC products. So the next product I want to talk about is from Laura Mercier, and this is the Cheek Canvas Soft Cheek Palette. So I picked this up last Christmas Eve because I happened to be in a Sephora killing time, and I saw this and it was on sale, and I was like, you know what? I've always wanted to try more Laura Mercier products because I kind of feel like they're okay. They're not the best in my opinion. I think they're like really overhyped. There's something about the packaging that really drew me in, and I remember swatching these in the store and liking them. However, I find that this formula is okay. It's not bad. I wish I liked it a little bit more. I'm gonna try this palette a couple more times because I want to make sure I'm giving it like a fair chance. It's crazy because the swatches are so pretty, but when I put it on my face, I'm not inciting any sort of fucking joy. And this baby just came, and this is from Scott Barnes, and I picked this up when Scott Barnes had a sale, I believe for his birthday. It was like everything was like 25% off on his site, so I wound up actually picking up a couple of things. I've only swatched it, but I haven't used it yet. I'm very intrigued to try this orange one. I am not gonna lie. Like, this is calling my name so goddamn badly. Everything looks really, really beautiful. I'll let you know in a future video what I think about it, but I'm hopeful that this is gonna be good and will be a staple in my collection because this is really fucking pretty. So I actually have quite a few single blushes. So let's start with this one. This is from ColourPop. This is from the Disney Princess collection. This is the Belle blush, and this is in the shade Enchanted Mirror. You know, ColourPop I think is okay when it comes to blushes. They're not my favorite. I love their price point, but their formula, it's just okay in my opinion. This one I think I picked up because it seemed like the best blush option out of all of them. They're probably the hidden gem in this whole collection is the Horse and Carriage highlighter, but this blush isn't bad though. Not my favorite, but it's not bad though. The next one is from Juvia's Place, and this is the Serafina blush. I love this blush. I know I recently decluttered their blush palette only because I just didn't utilize any of those shades. This though, oh, it's so fucking pretty, especially when it gets to be warmer out. Beautiful coral color. Brings a nice little warmth to the cheeks that I really, really love. The next one is from IBY Beauty, and this is the Cheek to Cheek palette. Picked this up when I went to Generation Beauty, Ipsy Live, whatever the fuck it's called. And I really, really do love IBY Beauty. I just don't know why people don't really talk about them. So you get two shades in here, one called Jive, the other one called Cha Cha. These are incredibly pigmented, so a little bit goes a long way. Obviously these are very, very deep swatches, but I don't go ham like this. So definitely be careful if you are looking into this one, but it's fucking great though. The next one is from Flower Beauty, and this is in the shade Warm Hibiscus. I like this blush because it's a really pretty blush topper, and it has a beautiful pinky gold glow that looks really nice on top of other blush. I want to get more Flower Beauty products, and I really hate the fact that they stopped selling in Ulta. I don't know why that is. I don't know. Anyone has the details on that, let me know down below. But this is very, very pretty, and I need to get more of their blushes. I have 3 blushes from Milani. This one is literally fucking, I don't know, the packaging is falling apart. It's annoying the shit out of me. Never sits in there perfectly. But this is the shade Luminoso, which is pretty much like the OG shade that all beauty YouTubers talk about. Specifically Kathleen Lights, because she, again, can't shut the fuck up about it. And rightfully so. This is a very, very, very beautiful blush that I enjoy the shit out of, and I utilize when it's in warmer weather. It gives a nice little warmth to my face. The next 2 blushes I have from Milani are these rose blushes, which I love. One is the Blossom Time Rose, as well as the Tea Rose. I love the pan. Oh my god, it's so gorgeous. Milani has amazing face products. Amazing, especially for drugstore. I feel like the swatches are not doing its justice, but I can assure you they are super fucking pigmented. The next 2 products I have are from Makeup Revolution. This is the Peach Blush and the Strawberry Blush. This came out when the Avocado palette came out, and I love this fucking blush. Oh my god. Love how you can just mix the colors together. I love, this is the 3 different tones that are within that blush. Makeup Revolution is another brand that can be very hit or miss, but there's just something about this blush that is just absolutely gorgeous. This is the 3 tones that are within that blush. The next 2 are from Essence, and these are the Satin Touch blushes. Essence is another brand that makes really, really good face products. Had these for quite some time. They still perform really, really well. I want to say these are probably less than $5. These are fucking awesome. I don't even know if they make them anymore, because if they do, I definitely want to pick up more. But this shade over here, this is the number 10 in Satin Coral, and this shade over here is the number 20 Satin Love. The next one is from ColourPop, and this is the blush stick. You know, I used this a couple of times, and I don't know, like, I just thought it was okay. The reason why I haven't decluttered it yet, because I'm really just trying to give it a chance, because I really love the fucking color. It's so pretty. I should get rid of this. No, I'm not gonna get rid of this right now. I should get rid of this though. No, not yet, not yet. This color, by the way, is in the shade Under Pressure. This, oh, fucking love this thing. This is the Wet n Wild Pac-Man Collection blush palette. So this palette came out sometime last year, and a whole collection came out, and honestly, this is probably the best thing out of the whole collection. This is a really good palette book for drugstore. Again, like I mentioned, probably the best thing out of the whole fucking collection. The next 2 drugstore items I have are from Milani. Actually, oh, I forgot to include this in the Milani one. But these are the liquid blushes. I have it in the shade 120 Pink Flirt and 130 Cheeky Coral. And to me, the standout one is the Cheeky Coral color, which is the shade 130, which it looks, I know looks crazy because it's like straight up orange, but I don't know why, but I just love fucking orange blush on me. I just think it's so pretty. What I like about this formula too is that it's incredibly easy to use. It's not sticky by any means. The price point I think is really nice, and a little bit goes a long way. Totally recommend them, and I plan on getting more of these little guys. This is from Shu Uemura. This is the Super Mario Brothers blush. I got this from Ren, so again, thank you, Ren. I still have this. I love the shit out of this because the packaging is fucking everything. As you can tell, I am a huge Super Mario Brothers person. This is in the shade Dreamy Mauve. What I like about this particular color is that it's so light. It's very, very flattering. Brings a nice little pop of mauve to the cheeks. I really, really, really enjoy it. And what I like about this particular formula as well is that I don't find that it's greasy or sticky. It doesn't disturb any of the makeup that I have underneath when I'm wearing it. This is awesome. So the next products I have are from Kaja. This is the Mochi Pop in the shade Atmosphere. What's interesting about this one is that it has almost like a putty-like consistency. It goes into the skin so beautifully. Has a beautiful color. I really enjoy wearing this one. Has really good longevity. The other 2 ones that I have are the shades number 5 Sassy and number 3 Bossy. And these are more of the cheek stamps. So you get this little adorable heart here. I definitely feel like a fucking e-girl when using this one. So that's that shade. I'll show you what it looks like. What I really like about these little bento boxes, one, that they are fucking adorable, but they are very, very easy to use, and I love how the components are separate, so you don't feel like anything is getting messy, things are not leaking anywhere. The actual component of this product is so fucking nice. I really do enjoy Kaja blushes. I think they're really, really pretty. I definitely want to get more of them. The next one I have is from Glossier, and this is the Cloud Paint. This is in the shade Beam. I only have one of these Glossier ones. These are fantastic. I definitely want to get more shades in the future. I love the shade of this product. I think it's really, really flattering. This product is very easy to use. A little bit goes a long way. It shears out beautifully. And I definitely want to pick up more cloud paints in the future. My only complaint, I guess, say if you want to compare it to, say, like the Kaja Bento box, is that this can be potentially a little bit messy, especially when coming out. You just want to make sure that you're not going to be losing too much product, and a little bit does go a long way. So I often find that I'm actually squeezing out a little bit too much. So that kind of sucks, but I would say that's probably the only negative about the product. Everything else is fantastic. The next are from M Cosmetics, and this is their blush serum. These are awesome. I just hate the fucking component. The component sucks. You're supposed to be able to dispense the product by, you know, like a dropper. You're supposed to pick it up, supposed to be able to plop it out, but it never fucking plops out. So you kind of have to use the stick. It sucks. It's beautiful. The bottles are beautiful. It just does not function very well at all, in my opinion. So these are the shades that I have in my arm. First one is the shade Sunset Sky, followed by Soft Amethyst. Next one is Milk Rose, and then followed by Pink Nectar. This was all gifted to me by the wonderful Hello Nurse, so thank you, sweetheart. And I love these. These are fucking great. It's just, I hate how difficult it is to get out of the goddamn component. And I hope in the future they'll make it a little bit easier. You know, hopefully the packaging will improve in the future, because I love these little balls. It's just, I wish the product would get dispensed out correctly. The next two products I have are from Tower 28, and these are things that I actually just got from Sephora. So I'll let you know definitely in a future video how I feel about them. But these look fantastic. So again, this is the shade Golden Hour, and this is the shade Magic Hour. So the next four products I have are from Fenty. These are all the new cream blushes that came out. And I actually just got the shade Drama Class, which is the purple shade. And if you haven't seen my video, I'll link it up in the corner over here. But this is the shade Drama Class that I was so fucking intrigued to get because I watched a video from Kinky Sweat. If you don't know who the fuck she is, you're missing out on life. And she had this purple shade on, and I was like, ooh, I need to have that. So this is the shade Fuego, which actually is my favorite shade of all fucking time. The next one is Strawberry Drip, followed by Petal Poppin', and last but not least, Drama Class. Again, if you want to see the review of these products, go check it out. So let's move on to some of the powder products. The first one I want to talk about is from Ofra, and this is the shade Bellini. This is probably one of my favorite blushes of all time. Just so fucking pretty. It almost works with pretty much every eye look. Such a neutral pinky blush. It's fantastic. The next one is from Jouer, and this is the blush duo in Adore Me. So you have the shades Adore Me and Hold Me. I picked this up when I went to Ipsy Generation Beauty a couple of years back, and I have to say it still holds up. This is the shade Adore Me, this is Hold Me, and then these are the two shades mixed together. I personally like mixing them together, but of course when they're on their own, they're still gorgeous. Oh, you know what? This is the other cream product I forgot to mention. This is from Ritual Defeat, and this is in the shade Lovesick, and this is their Inner Glow Cream Pigment. This is another cream product that is just fantastic. It's such a pretty color. This looks so gorgeous on the cheeks. This one has a little bit of a stiffer texture. I think the difference, I would say, out of the Fenty product is that there's no stickiness at all to it. So it definitely dries down to more of like a powder finish. This is fucking awesome. I definitely want to get more shades of this Inner Glow line because they're so fucking pretty. The next shade is from Makeup Forever, and honestly, I don't know what the shade of this is called. I think if I pop this out, I can tell you, but I've had this blush. I don't even know how long I've had this blush for. I've had it for such a long fucking time, and it's still really fucking good. I definitely had it for like, I would say more than 3 years at this point. If I remember the color, if I could find the color, I'll definitely link it up in the corner. But this is such a pretty shade. By the way, I had to like stop swatching because as you can see, my arm is like getting red, and so is my hand from the fucking makeup wipe. So we're gonna switch it up and go to my hand. The next three are from Cover FX, and Be Still My Heart. I fucking love these guys. These are their monochromatic blush duos. So I have it in the shades Pink Dahlia, Soft Peach, and Mojave Mauve. They are so fucking pretty. So the first one is Pink Dahlia and Mojave Mauve. Soft Peach. I think Soft Peach is my favorite, followed by Pink Dahlia. I don't mind the Mojave Mauve, but it's one that I don't reach for. I just really primarily reach for these two. Fucking love them. If you were gonna get anything, the Cover FX blushes, I know they're definitely on more the expensive side, but you get a lot of products, you get two different options, and when used together, they are so fucking gorgeous. Believe the hype, these are fantastic. The next one is from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and this is the Peachy Love Blush Trio. You know, I wanted this so goddamn badly, and then I never use it. And I need to fucking use them because I feel bad. Because I remember like being like, I need this so badly. And then I got it and I was like, okay, cool. I never fucking used it. So I need to start kind of playing around with these because they're fine. Like honestly, anytime that I have used them, they were okay. I wouldn't say they were my most favorite things, but they weren't bad by any means, but it's not very memorable in my opinion. I think they're okay. The next one is from M Cosmetics, and this is the Heaven's Glow Magic Hour Blush. This is so pretty. So I love the blush serum from this company, but their powder blushes though, holy shit, are so gorgeous. I want to get the other blush that came out, I think it's like called Clementine or something like that. Quality, the longevity, it's very, very flattering. And this is another blush that really kind of just looks good with almost every eye look in a way. And it gives you that nice like slutty 4 o'clock glow that everybody loves. The next one is from Natasha Denona, and this is the Bloom Highlighting Blush. And I really, really enjoyed this. It's definitely different, I would say, from the Love palette or the Bloom palette or any of those palettes. But this is another blush that is gonna be really utilized in the warmer weather because it brings a nice little warmth to the face. Again, Natasha Denona kills it with the face products. Next one is from KKW Beauty, and this blush is so fucking hard to open. This is in the shade Grace, and the reason why I don't reach for this one is because it's hard to open and the edges are so fucking sharp, they hurt my soul. But when I do pry this fucker open, I'm reminded with how beautiful the shade is. It's a perfect nude blush. The next one is from Hourglass, and this is the Luminous Flush Blush. Love Hourglass blushes. I think they're really fucking beautiful. And this is another blush that just sits so pretty on the skin. It looks so good with almost every eye look that I fucking create. It's just one of those beautiful universal blushes. I feel like this could be potentially flattering on everybody. It's just such a gorgeous shade. I love Hourglass blushes. I think they do a really fantastic job, and I want to say this is probably my favorite color. All right, on to my fucking bougie stuff. So in these little velour drug pouches, I have this one from Chanel, which is in the shade Rose Petal, probably called Rose Petal, but I just want to be obnoxious asshole. So I picked this up when I was hanging out with Michelle Wong. I asked her like, hey, just tell me what's good. And she was like, all right, here. And she showed me this blush, and can I tell you, the bitch knows what she's talking about. This is such a good blush. The quality, the formula is fantastic. I understand why people shit their pants over Chanel blushes. Honestly, I'm so mad that with all the sales that were going on, Chanel was not on sale because I totally would have picked up more blushes. Honestly, anything Michelle recommends, you fucking buy because that bitch is not lying to you. She's telling you the fucking truth. The next drug pouch is from Dior, and this is in the shade, can't even pronounce that, Rose Montaigne. I don't know. It's another fucking rose color, okay? I love the fancy ones come with these stupid fucking brushes. I love that. How about you just give me the fucking pants worth? I don't need whatever this horsehair bullshit is. So anyway, this is a Dior one. And this is another shade that's just fantastic. I really do like the Dior blush, not as much as the Chanel one. The Chanel one I think is better in terms of quality. I find that I reach for the Chanel one a little bit more, but this is very, very pretty though. The next one is from Marc Jacobs, and this is the Air Blush in the shades Lines and Last Night. And I picked this up during the Marc Jacobs sale. They're having like this incredible 50% off sale, and now I heard they're actually gonna stop making these blushes. So kind of glad that I was able to pick one up. I have to say half off, this is fucking great. So it comes in, you know, 2 different shades, and of course if you mix the two. So this shade is the pink on its own. This is more of that cream colored shade, and this is what happens when you mix the two. I really, really enjoyed this product. I wish I could have picked up one more because there was another color that looked really, really pretty, but I'm very happy that I have this one. And yeah, so far so good. I'm liking it. I think my favorite thing to do is obviously mix the two of them, but I really do love how the pink looks on its own. And last but certainly not least, I have 4 different Chantecaille blushes. These are so good. These are fantastic. I have them in the shades Laughter, which is a coral shade. The pans are everything. This one is a shade Grace, which is the turtle, as you can tell. There was a little bit of an overlay but of course I've been using the fuck out of it, so it's starting to go away. This is the shade Emotion, which I think is my favorite shade. This is the B. It had a very beautiful gold overlay in the top of it, but as you can tell, it's gone. And then this is the shade Bliss, which I actually just got. This one I haven't used yet, and it's the Butterfly. That's the shade Bliss. This is the shade Emotion. This is the shade Laughter, and this is the shade Grace. Chantecaille makes amazing powder products. I swear by that goddamn blurring powder and that luminous powder, and these blushes fall in line with the quality of those products. It's amazing, and I'm just gonna keep my eye out because albeit they are very, very expensive, sitting at like $40 a pop for them. So to me, a comfortable price point is more like in the $30 range, but they are fantastic. The quality is absolutely amazing, and the pan designs are truly stunning. Highly recommend checking them out when they're on sale. When it comes to my bronzers and contours, these are the things that work for me and my skin tone. So I'm gonna start with the face palettes first, and the first one is one of my favorite things ever is from IBY Beauty, and this is the highlight and contour palette. You'll notice that I have a lot of like Kat Von D type dupes in my collection because I really wanted to find something that was at a cheaper price point that really mimicked the Shade and Light palette. But the Shade and Light palette is really, it does stand on its own. It's fucking good. Love this highlighter and contour palette. I think it's fantastic. This is obviously my shade over here, this contour number 1, but I will swatch all 3 of them for you. They're very soft, they're very easy to use, and I find that these are really great for cool tone options. The other one I have is from Koki, and this is another one that's a really good contour palette as well. The IBY Beauty, I feel like it's definitely a little bit more cool tone. This palette has a little bit more warmth to it, but I think it looks really beautiful on my skin, and I really only gravitate towards these first 2 shades. This third shade is way too dark for me. Of course, I have the MAC Daddy, the Shade and Light, which I have hit pretty much pan on this one. I'm still trying to use as much product as I can because I'm not gonna lie, this is really, really good for cool tone options. The next is from BH Cosmetics, and this is the Studio Pro. I've used this a handful of times. This is actually pretty cool. Really kind of just utilize these first 2 shades, but they do have a nice range in this palette. So the first product is the Matchstick from Frente Beauty. It's in the shade Amber. I'm actually going to be decluttering this one, so it's no longer going to be in my collection. And the reason for that is because I find that it is really difficult sometimes to blend out. It is matte and very drying on my skin, so I'm not really a fan of that. But there were a couple of times where I did use it and I didn't mind it. But overall, I think it's just kind of, it's becoming more and more difficult to use. Yeah, she got to go. The next one is from KKW Beauty, and this is the contour stick. I believe this is, I don't know, is this the darker shade? I think this is the darker shade. And I think the other side is the lighter shade, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I actually really like this product a lot, and I find that it's like a really nice cool tone option for me. The KKW is definitely more hydrating and sits nicer on my skin. So I have the 2 cream bronzers. Well, one is more of a cream contour, and this is the shade Amber, and this is the shade Butter Biscuit. If I'm gonna compare this to the Matchstick, this is definitely more hydrating. However, it is gray on my skin, so I'm kind of on the fence if I'm gonna keep it or not, to be honest with you. Sometimes I like it and sometimes I don't. But this is the shade Butter Biscuit, which came into the mail the other day. While this is more warm tone on my skin, it sits beautifully and it has a really great opacity, and I found that it actually lasted a little bit longer than the Amber shade, so that's very nice. You know, I forgot to include this in my palette. This is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Shape Shift. I love this fucking palette. So I really utilize the powder side, not so much this shade because it's too dark, but I actually really like this as a contour shade. They're incredibly easy to use, super, super pigmented. A little bit does go a long way, and I really like the quality of this Urban Decay product. On the other side, they have a cream side, which, you know, I'll be honest, it's okay. In my personal opinion, I don't think it's as good as the powder side, but this is what this one looks like. Now, when it comes to drugstore options, my favorite things have been the Butter Bronzer, which is from Physicians Formula. This is in the shade Light. I really, really like how this sits on my skin. It provides a little bit of warmth without going too orange or too crazy. It lasts for a very, very long time, and I actually don't mind the smell of fake coconuts. The next 2 are from Milani, and this is the Silky Matte Bronzer. I have it in shades 1 and 2. These are fantastic. I think out of powder bronzers, these are my favorite for the drugstore. Incredibly easy to use. It doesn't give you the appearance of being overly orange or muddy. They work so perfectly on the skin. I really, really love these bronzers. The next one is from Morphe, and this is the Mastermind Glam Bronze. Picked this up recently, and I'm glad that I did. This is a very good light bronzer. It gives a nice little warmth to the skin without looking overly Cheeto-y. The next one is from Fenty Beauty, and this is in the shade Into Sun, which I believe is the lightest shade in the powder bronzers. This is another one that's just fantastic. And what's special about this one is that it's really, really buildable. Sometimes I found in the past, bronzers tend to have too much pigment initially, so it's really harder to come back when you put too much product on your face. So I like things that have lighter opacity when it comes to face product, because I prefer to build them up rather to try to fucking put more powder on it to diffuse the color. So with that said, I definitely think this one's worth the money. Fantastic, still holds up. And as much as I really, really do like the Fenty one, I find that Milani is a really nice dupe for it. So the next thing is from Rodial, and this is the Instagram Compact Contouring Powder in the shade 3. This is ridiculous. My friend actually gave this to me because she works for a department store, and I'm so glad that she did, because this is, I really do like this product. I just think it's fucking ridiculous. But this is really nice for a cool tone contour option for powder. Last but certainly not least, I have the Tom Ford Soleil bronzer. So I have it in the shade Gold Dust, and I have like the mini version as well as the big version. I purchased the mini version first because I got drunk and really wanted to try this fucking bronzer. And then when I realized how much I fucking love it, I went and picked the bigger one up when it was on sale for 25% off. So this is normally like $112. I got it for $84. I regret nothing. This guy I think normally retails for 75 bucks. Ridiculous. Ridiculous, but you know what? That was my favorite bronzer of all time. I don't really understand why, because this is definitely like a warmer tone option, but it just looks so beautiful on my skin. It gives me that beautiful vacation glow that I just want to have permanently all the time. There is a little bit of a sheen to it, so especially when you pair it with, say, a glowy blush or highlighter, it definitely amplifies that cheekbone area. It's so fucking gorgeous. I love this fucking shade. And I think when all of this is gone, I'm probably only just gonna repurchase this Tom Ford one. I'll be very honest with you. I love the look of it. And this is the bigger version of it. Essentially looks exactly like this little guy, except it comes in this nice little beach towel, and it's just pure perfection. Oh, so fucking gorgeous. And with that said, that is my blush and bronzer contour collection. Let me know down below if we have some of the same product or if you have some good recommendations. I love hearing from you guys. And with that said, I want to say thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it as always. Feel free to like, comment, hit that subscribe button. It's free. And hit that bell icon for notification of all my future posts. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Discord, Patreon. There's a podcast called The Miserable 3, as well as Dead and Bored. And all that information can be found in the description box below. And I'll see you little pumpkins later. Continue to stay safe. Bye.